welcome to the Naked and Afraid Show with Oyin Consola Alabi, also known as the Emotions Doctor. Thank you for sharing your word with me and thank you for showing up here today. Oh, I have an interesting topic to talk about. Are you ready? Are you really ready? Here at the Naked and Afraid Show, we are real, we are raw, and we're vulnerable because we talk about everything people shy away from. There's nothing I cannot talk about. There's nothing I can bring to the burner. There's nothing I can bring to the battlefield. So today's conversation is going to be interesting. And the title is, are you ready? The title is Honey and Holy. Honey and Holy. What do I mean by that? I'm going to start from somewhere that looks very deep and tough, and then I'm going to make it more practical. So, what is the etymology, the root meaning of the word honey? The widely beloved term that is called honey comes from the late 18th century phrase, which means having the horn. It is used broadly to describe male arousal, and by the 19th century, the term honey became popularized and it was used to describe male private organ and all of that. So, people would ask me questions every time. I have been a pastor for 20 years, and people ask me questions. What are we supposed to do as Christians with our sex drive? They have told us that anytime we feel honey, we should take a cold shower, we should take a stroll, we should talk to our friends, we should have an accountability partner, we should pray, maybe read your Bible, do all of those things. Like, do something. Just do something with the energy. And then initially, it felt like it was easy. Maybe late teens, early 20s, a good number of people that I spoke to, and I've been talking to people for 20 years, like talking to people, thousands of singles in 20 years. If you know what it is to be a pastor and then to have a good number of followership on social media, hundreds of thousands, then I have been talking, asking questions, just having sounding boards. And then there are some research reports that I contribute to where we survey about 5,000 youths every 3 years and stuff like that. So I've been talking to people in and out of Africa, outside of Africa, I've been to about 40 countries. Like, it's interesting. So, what's going on? What are we supposed to do? Honey and holy, we have been told jump into the shower. By the time you take a bath, it changes your body temperature. By the time you take a stroll or gist with your friends, or maybe spill some tea or go out with them, just do something, go watch a movie, maybe sleep, maybe listen to music, just things like that. And then late 20s, and it looks like you're beginning to get tired of the same thing, of doing the same thing. The cold water is no longer cold, and yeah, things are going and getting a little bit stronger. And then early 30s, by the time you're in your early 30s zone, it just looks like you are the weapon formed against yourself, because everything within you is going to remind you that it's about to go down. Early 30s, and the accountability partners are beginning to suspect you and wondering, are you okay? Like, you call us like 3, 4 times a week. And then you no longer feel like taking a stroll. If you're abroad, the weather is different. It's getting colder. It's winter time. All of those things are there. And then we're getting into that part where we're not asking ourselves, should I subscribe to the self help structure? That's what it's called, self help. Self help structure, self help department, self help activities. Just in case you don't know what I mean by that, what I mean will be pornography, masturbation. Some people will say, oh, non penetrative sex, like oral sex, anal sex, just all of those things. Should I subscribe to them, or are they a flavor of sin? I'm not here to tell you what to do with yourself. You're an adult. Once you cross the age of 18, you're an adult. And I know that some of you really, really, really are here to argue and say, oh, it's not a sin. Oh, man, it's not a sin. It's not a sin. I ain't going down that lane with you, because no matter what I say, I know you are going to bring out something from somewhere to justify what you want to do. So it is none of my business what you are doing as an adult. So I'm not here to say, oh, it's good or bad, you're going to hell or heaven. I don't know where anybody is going. I do not have your spiritual GPS. I am not your minister of location. So, should you do that? I leave that to you. The next thing is, people have said to me, do you know that the Bible did not categorically say that premarital sex is a sin? What the Bible said is about sexual immorality. The Bible didn't use the word premarital sex, it didn't use the word fornication. And they are ready to defend that statement with their blood. But as usual, I do not argue. What I know that the Bible categorically said, that I have consistently seen, is the word sexual immorality. And I know that the word is very broad. And I know that you are ready to argue, and I'm not available for you. So the word sexual immorality can be found in several Bible verses. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18. You can find it in Galatians 5:19. You can find it in Hebrews 13:14. And I know that because we're youths and we're in the 21st or 22nd or 23rd century, whatever century we're in, Gen Z or Gen Z, millennials, Gen Y, Gen everything. Everybody's looking for every way. Oh, people are looking for shortcuts and routes. And I get you, and I understand you, and I feel you. Yeah, I do. I do get you. I do understand you. I do feel you. And what I will categorically say that the Bible said is that the only form of sexual relations God approves. I will say that again because you cannot beat me. The only form of sexual relations God approves is the sex between the husband and the wife. That one you know, and I know. The only form of sexual relations you and I know that God approves is the sex between the husband and the wife. That is clear. I don't mind what you have in your mind. I'm not here to regulate your body or tell you what to do. Now, I can understand what you are going through, but it doesn't mean I agree with your expressions. I can understand everything you feel like doing, but it does not mean I agree with it. So there are so many things I understand that people are doing, but I do not have to agree with it. The reason why they're doing that is because of the kind of relationship they are subscribed to. So for us that we call ourselves Christians, the reason why we call ourselves Christians is because of the word script. We have what is called a script to guide us, which is also called scriptures. Scriptures means that there is a script that we have subscribed to. And when you subscribe to a script, to be honest, it is either you go for the full subscription or you do not go for any at all. Yeah. But I've seen that sometimes we subscribe to some, we do not subscribe to some, we have partial subscriptions. Understandably, because we are human, we will sin. This is not the only flavor of sin that people try to turn around. There's so many things that we all do that, we're imperfect about. And what is also written in the script is because we are going to be forgiven, it doesn't mean we should consistently involve in that act or action. So, should you have sex or should you not have sex, whatever, it boils down to your subscription plan. Modern day humans who subscribe to modern day relationships are people who will say, oh, I can cohabitate or cohabit, or yeah, that's the word. Cohabit or cohabitation, all those things. So I want to check out, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's the modern day relationship. It comes with a whole lot of try and error, taste and see, feel and stuff. Yeah. It is very sensual, very physical, not necessarily what it should be, but that's what it is. There's another one, the traditional relationship, where once you do your traditional stuff, you don't have to go to your worship center to seal it off. Once you're traditionally married, you're good to go. But when it comes to the doctrinal relationship, that is the one that comes with the scriptures. And if we are going to be Christians, let us be Christians. I'm not here to say you are going to hell or you are sinning, whatever. No, I deeply understand what you are going through. I know what it is to be honey and holy when your tongues, you feel like speaking in tongues, but your body is not aligning with the tongues. Do you understand? And then you're dealing with 0 degrees, minus zero, minus whatever weather. All those things are there. And I get it. I get it. But we cannot pretend that we do not know the truth. Two things can coexist. You must know the truth. You know the truth. You know that the only approval and the only form of sexual relations God approves is the one between husband and wife. Anything else, you just want to do English, have the gift of gab, try and explain your way out or in or anything. We know what it is. So let's leave it like that. So now that it is clear that if you subscribed to the doctrinal relationship, there's a script we must follow. Other ones, your subscription package, comes with a guide. I don't care what you subscribe to. The part that we need to talk about is the one that comes with scriptures. Yeah. So if you subscribe to the doctrinal relationship, there is a script we must honor, there's a script we must follow, and there's a script we cannot pretend does not exist. You cannot beat me. There is a script, and we are expected to follow the script. We cannot choose the part of the textbook we want to respect and honor. You can't say that you want to choose this and don't choose this. So, for us who have chosen and decided to follow the script in this hard world, in this world where you do not have to go to any porn site to see porn, you don't even have to do anything really. Everything, almost everywhere, is sexualized. From your toothpaste to your lip gloss to your. Now, when you go to the gym, you don't even know what's going on there anymore. Are people here to exercise or they are here to advertise? You don't really know what's going on. Like, I'm a good swimmer. I like to swim, and sometimes you don't particularly know if we're there to exercise or we're just there to market. Whatever it is working. Do you understand? You don't have to look for anything to look for you. You don't have to be intentional about looking for anybody. And then I like the fact that men have also stepped up their games. When you see men and their beards, sometimes you will speak in tongues. They don't cut their beards anymore, they carve it. It's an artwork. You will see some beards and you will speak in tongues. you know, the beard the beard wasn't attended to by a barber. It's between an architect and an engineer. They carved it. And you're like, Lord have mercy. And then, some of them have become so vain, with their six packs and a whole lot of things. Like, you have to be very strong to be focused. And I'm telling you the plain truth because, ladies are there doing a lot of things, men are there exploring their existence and stuff. So, if you are part of the people who subscribed to the doctrinal relationship and the doctrinal lifestyle that comes with a script, otherwise called the scriptures, what must we do? Holy and honey, or honey and holy, however you call it, there are two ways that I can suggest to you as your comrade, as your colleague, as your pastor, as your friend, as a sister in the Lord, as anything that you call it. So, I was asking a couple of people, and I said to them, if you say that singles should not have sex before marriage, what did you say they should do? Because you cannot say people should not do something without telling them what to do. You can't take something away from the table or off the table and don't bring something back. So I'm like, if you say we should not have sex, I agree with you. I understand what the Bible says. I don't argue about scriptures. It is what it is, you know. So what should we do? And they're like, self-control, discipline. And I totally get it. You got married at 25, you got married at 27, you got married at 26. You know, that your self-control, I agree with it, but I'm just saying what happens to a 39, 40, 45, 46, 47-year old people who are single. Now, people are not getting married early, not because they don't want to. The economy is economizing everybody. It is by the grace of God that we exist. We all just survived a damn pandemic. Like we should have been wiped away. But here we are. And we are trying to survive multiple inflation or what's it called? Like, geez. So even if you want to get married, like something happened to us in the past 3, 4 years, and we're just like, as I'm sitting here now, I should really not be my age. It should be -4. Because the past 4 years, I didn't participate in it. I did not. I was only trying to live. I didn't participate in the past 4 years. So this age is not my original age. I've been scammed. So by the time you do that all around, you will see that all of us are just going with inflated ages. So we genuinely want to get married, but have you priced the prices of apartments now or mortgages? You know, that's why men are screaming 50-50. That's another conversation for another day. It's 50-50. Nobody wants to provide for anybody. Bring your money, and it's another conversation. We're going there, but not now. So, what must we subscribe to? Because it's not getting funny anymore. Yeah, it's not funny anymore. I wanted to see my face. It's not funny anymore. This is my glasses, by the way, my recommended glasses. It's not funny anymore. I just need you to see my eyes. It is not funny anymore. So, what must we do? We are single, honey, and holy. Three things. I'm going to teach you two things. The first you have heard before, which is self control, which is discipline. And this is tied to your five senses: what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you taste, what you move around, what you spend your time focusing on or drowning yourself in, will finally give some feedback, neurological feedback to your body. And then it depends on what you want to do with that. So, discipline and self control, very key. There's no point pretending that you don't want to do something, but you are on the edge of it. It's like standing on the edge of a swimming pool and there's water on the floor. What if you slip in? What if you just fall down and stuff like that? So, self control is very key. If you know that you don't want to dwell in the secret place of a man's house, You should not even bother passing the night. You know yourself. You know yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're an adult. You know yourself. You know where you must have boundaries and what you must not do if you are part of the subscription plan that says, I want to follow the scriptures. The second thing is what I call sexual transmutation. It is by Napoleon Hill, about how to invest your sexual energy into something productive. Creatives do this, artists, musicians, maybe speakers, anybody under the umbrella of creatives, actors, anybody who is a creative knows that there's a tendency that their urges are higher and stuff. And sexual transmutation just means divert your sexual energy into something productive. It can be writing, it can be speaking, it can be painting, it can be making clothes, it can be makeup, it can be interior decoration, it can be anything. But that same sexual energy of yours, divert it into something tangible, divert it into something probably intrinsic. So it can be a product or a service, but the same sexual energy, instead of dwelling on it, find something that you can divert it into. So anytime you feel like, oh, you want to have sex, or you feel horny, or whatever you feel like, find something to do at that time, whether you want to write. It is most likely one of the most creative time and one of the most powerful times of your day or your week that you can invest that energy. So it's called transmutation, moving your energy from one place to the other, investing your energy from one place to the other. So instead of just experiencing your self help in whatever way that you think you want to explore that, instead of just doing that, you can afford to put that energy together and invest it in something that you can feel, you can touch, or something that will be useful to you at the long run. And another thing I'm going to say is sometimes we're not very serious about getting into relationships. And before you fight me and say, oh, you don't understand, I've tried and tried and tried, I got you. Just hold on. What I mean by that is sometimes the energy you deploy and invest in work is not the same energy you invest in relationships. Sometimes we are more focused on what gives us money than the relational part of us. Sometimes we feel, oh, relationships will just happen. Sometimes they just happen. Sometimes they do not just happen. But I'm just saying, to be honest, is your treasure there? Because where your treasure is, your heart will be there. What if the same energy you devote in your work, you devote it into being a good person, into showing yourself love and showing other people around you love, care, and all that? And then you can also let your friends know that, you know what, I'm single. Please introduce me to people. Who knows? Your friend may know other people at work, at home, anywhere else in their country, whatever, that he can introduce to you. So, honey and holy people, my prayers are with you because that's really what I can do for you as a sister in the Lord. My prayers are with you, and I hope that you are going to invite me to your wedding, because I just want to scream and dance and just shout, it's about to go down. But I'm with you, and I needed us to be clear about what exactly is going on. We cannot keep trying not to understand what the Bible says. We cannot keep trying and keep arguing about it, whether it is premarital sex or fornication. What the Bible clearly states is that sex between a husband and wife is the only form of sexual relations God approves. All of us understand that. We agree to it. Anything else you want to do, it is your life, it is your body. You're an adult, you can make a decision. And I'm not thinking you are going to hell. I get it, but we know that when God says something, it is to preserve us, it is to protect us, it is to guide us, and it is because He has our back. If He wasn't a good father, He would not care. So when God says something, it may be very difficult to honor, but at the end of the day, it is for our good. So thank you so much. I'll see you next week at the Naked and Afraid show. Once again, you know who I am, Oyin Consola Alabi, the one and only emotions doctor. Thank you and see you soon.